Hello and welcome back to Fallout 3, everybody. Welcome back to the Wasteland, where today we're going to be taking a look at a very iconic Fallout weapon and just an iconic sci-fi weapon in general. We're going to be taking a look at the laser rifle. This is a weapon that's been in pretty much every Fallout game, and I see it continuing in every Fallout game. It's even been in other games like Starfield, where we effectively got multiple laser rifles in that one as well. The laser rifle in Fallout 3 does look a little bit different, and the laser rifle has gone through a couple different iterations throughout the Fallout games. It looks the most similar in this one and, well, Fallout New Vegas because they use the same model, as well as Fallout 4 has a very similar looking laser rifle. The original ones looked a little bit different. They looked more like a sniper rifle, but with a bit more metal on them to kind of make them look a little bit more lasery-like, I guess. This one's generally a mid-game weapon that you're going to be finding laser rifles. You can find them very early on, especially if you plan on doing a lot of the main quest, because the Brotherhood has a whole lot of these, the Outcasts have a whole lot of these, the Enclave tend to use them as well, although they pretty much use every energy weapon, so finding any of these energy weapons is not going to be super difficult, which is fantastic for a weapon like this. For the stats of the laser rifle does 23 damage per shot, which is pretty good. That's pretty comparable to a lot of rifles, just regular ballistic rifles. A bit better than something like the hunting rifle, not quite as good as the sniper rifle. This one has 47 damage per second, which is pretty high. This one has an above average crit modifier at 1.5 times, so it's more likely to hit crits, which is really good. Although weirdly enough has slightly lower crit damage at 22 rather than 23. I don't know why that is. Doesn't really matter. It's still pretty close, so you're going to be doing good crits. This one only costs 17 action points to be using in VATS, the same as like the 10mm pistol, which is fantastic. It makes for a really good VATS weapon. This one has a big old 0 for spread, so it is pinpoint accurate. However, the lasers can kind of just go off on their own. That's just kind of a weird thing that's in the Fallout games, where even if you have perfect spread, sometimes the guns in this just don't actually shoot where you're aiming. I don't know why that is. I guess it's probably tied to the fact that this is more third-person shooting rather than first-person shooting, like how you do with the sniper rifle or with the 44, where you actually have the scope so you can kind of see. I just have to assume that it's something like that, or some weird quirk in the engine. This one holds 24 rounds in it, which is quite a lot. It weighs 8, and it has a big old 1,087 shots that you can fire from this before it breaks. The regular laser rifle actually has a lot going for it stat-wise. These are all really nice stats for a weapon. For the general pros of the laser rifle, this one has really good damage and really good damage per second. It's not the highest in either of those, but it's got consistent, so that's nice. Ammo is fairly common for this, and not super difficult to find. The microfusion cells are fairly common, and a lot of merchants tend to sell them. And this one has really long range. The range on the laser rifle is fantastic. You can shoot it at extremely long range and hit just about anything. It actually makes for a pretty decent like improvised sniper or somewhat marksman's rifle. So it has a lot going for it. The cons, I actually had trouble coming up with any major cons for the laser rifle. You don't get them right away. You do have to get somewhat into the story to get them, but that's really about it. You don't even have to get that far into the story. And if you know where they are, you can actually just run right to them at the start. Maybe ammo can be a little bit of an issue in the early game, but by the time you're getting to the mid game, not so much. So there's not really any major cons with the laser rifle. It's just a pretty good all-around rifle. And that makes it so, for me personally, on our tier list, I'd probably put the regular laser rifle up into A tier. It's very solid. There's not really a whole lot to complain about. There's nothing way broken about the rifle, but there's also nothing really wrong with the rifle, assuming that you are going with energy weapons to some extent. If you're going with ballistic weapons, then yeah, I guess that wouldn't be the best option then, but still a decent option regardless. Now let's move over to the two unique versions of the laser rifle and talk about them. So the very first one is called the Wazer rifle, which I hate saying it like that, but that is how it's written, that is how it's pronounced. So the Wazer you get from a kid named Billy. He's got it down in little lamplight. You do have to buy this from him. It's going to depend on how much you want to pay for this or how much your barter skill is, because if you do pass a barter check, he's going to make it so it's less, but you still have to pay for it regardless. This is really the only annoying part about this weapon, and the fact that you have to say Wazer rifle. I don't really like saying that. It's definitely more difficult when you're talking in a normal conversation to somebody, or when you're trying to address something that somebody had questioned on stream. Like I've had this before when this weapon has come up, and it slows the conversation down. Not necessarily just because of how silly it is, but it's like you purposely have to say it the way that it's spelled. So besides that, the gun is actually quite good. Let's talk about the stats of the Wazer rifle. So the Wazer does 28 damage per shot, which is better than a regular one. This has 57 damage per second, same rate of fire. This has a 1.5 times modifier, same as the regular one, which is pretty good. This one does the same amount of crit damage though at 28, so that is pretty nice. Still costs 17 action points, still has 0 spread. This one does have a larger magazine though, it holds 30 rather than 24. Not a huge upgrade, but a nice upgrade to see. This one weighs 8, and this one has even higher item health at 1552, so this one takes a very long time to break. This weapon you're probably not going to be getting right away. You can run to Little Lamplight right away, talk to MacLeod, and do their quest. So you run over to Paradise Falls, take care of the kids. Although, if you do that, then you may have to do some of the other quests for Paradise Falls, because there's a speech check there, but if you fail it, then you have to do part of their quest, which requires you to go get some people to enslave them, then take them back, then talk to the kids, then pay for the kids, or kill everybody there at Paradise Falls. It's going to take a bit for you to actually get them out. I guess you could also sneak them out too, because they also kind of have their own quest. Then you got to go find Billy, then pay for the rifle. So it's a lot of steps in order to get this, and you're probably not going to be rushing it very early on. You do need to go to Little Lamplight to finish the main quest, so it wouldn't be uncommon for you to get this one. It's just you're probably going to be getting it later into the game. That being said though, this gun is pretty solid. It's just a better laser rifle, and the laser rifle is already quite solid. So I'd move this one up a tier, up into S tier. It's probably on the low end of S tier. It's not one of the craziest weapons, but it is just a very solid weapon to be using for pretty much every situation. The one major problem that I have with this gun is simply that you can get the unique plasma rifle so early on and so easily. And that gun is really good too, probably rivaling this. So even though I would say this gun is good and it's really nice to have, I would usually go with that one over this one just for the convenience of it. But if you're not going to go out of your way to do that quest, then this one could be a really good alternative. Now we still have one more laser rifle to talk about, sort of. It's more of a laser shotgun, which if you've seen some of my other videos about Fallout 3, you know how busted shotguns are. This one is arguably the most busted. This is called the Metal Blaster. This you find in the pit. Well, you don't really find it in the pit, you have to earn it in the pit. The way that you earn this one is that you have to collect 50 of the 100 steel ingots. And that's a pretty big task. It's either 50 or 60. I actually didn't look that up. I think it's 50. But that means you have to get at least half, maybe a little bit more than half, of all of the steel ingots that are in the pit. There's 100 in total. Some of them are pretty difficult to find laying around. Some of them are kind of in hidden areas. But if you get a large portion of them, you do get the Metal Blaster. And this one is one of the more obtainable endgame weapons. We talked about this not too long ago when we went over the assault rifles and talked about the perforator. That one takes 90, this one only takes 50 or 60, so it is a lot easier to get than that one, and this one is arguably the best reward that you get from the pit. So the Metal Blaster does 55 damage on hit, which is pretty high, a lot higher than the other laser weapons that we've already talked about. This one has 113 DPS, which is pretty good. This one still keeps its 1.5 times crit modifier for some reason, and that's kind of a problem because this one does 243 crit damage. That is a lot of crit damage. And the reason why it works this way is because every single beam from the laser rifle can hit a crit. That's how shotguns work in this game, at least most of them. The sawed-off shotgun's the exception. And same with the tri-beam lasers, the exception, because those ones actually count as individual lasers. These ones can hit crits on all of the lasers, so you can do a lot of damage whenever you are hitting crits, and with a weapon that has bonus crit chance, that's really strong. This one still only costs 17 action points to use in VATS 2, so it's really strong in a VATS build, which is another pretty strong build in Fallout 3. This one does have spread, because it is a shotgun. This one has 2.5 spread, so the lasers can go, yeah, they can break off a little bit, but not actually that much. The Metal Blaster is surprisingly good still at very long range. This one still holds 24 rounds in it, and it doesn't consume extra microfusion cells when you're firing this normally, which is really busted, and why would you ever want to use the tri-beam laser when this thing exists? This thing hits harder, it does more damage, it consumes less ammo, it has arguably better spread on it too, so this one kind of outcompetes that weapon, which is considered one of the better weapons. This one weighs 8. This one does have less item health though. This one only has 455 shots before it breaks. Not that that will matter, because a lot of the time you're just going to be one or two shotting things with this. This is one of the strongest, if not the strongest weapon in Fallout 3. So this one is going to go all the way up into our hidden broken tier. It's going to be our first weapon that goes up there, because this one is kind of problematic. Even if you're not going with a crit build, this one is still really, really strong, because sneak crits still count as guaranteed crits, and you're dealing double damage with them. You're already doing an insane amount with the crits anyway, so you're going to be able to one-shot a lot of enemies. Even if you're just at one luck and you haven't taken finesse or anything, whenever you do hit a crit with this weapon, it does so much damage that you can just chunk enemies so fast. And if you have built a full crit build, you're going to be killing just about everything without any trouble. This is really, really strong. It's one of the best weapons in the game. It's one of the weapons that I pretty much always carry on me regardless of the playthrough, unless I'm doing a challenge playthrough of Fallout 3, in which case then, you know, this one isn't allowed. But it's so strong. It clears up everything. Even all the enemies that were added with broken steel that are even stronger than normal. This thing demolishes death claws. It rips apart ghoul reavers. It rips apart albino scorpions. Super mutant overlords don't stand a chance against this. They're arguably the only thing that kind of does, and that's if they get good spread with their tri-beam laser and can kill you faster than you can kill them. Because if they don't have good spread, you're going to win that fight every time. Really good weapons. Thank you guys so very much for suggesting this one. Like I said, this one was requested quite a lot. There is going to be a couple other weapons that go up into our broken tier in the future. If you guys would like to see other weapons in this series, feel free to ask. Thank you guys so very much for watching this. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Tell me your thoughts on the laser weapons down in the comments below too. I'd love to hear them. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.